Dupe culture, a helpful or harmful trend. Picture yourself walking into a store and spotting a product that looks and feels like a luxury brand item. However, it comes with a much lower price tag. Would you buy it? This idea is at the heart of dupe culture, a trend that is becoming very popular, especially among Gen Z shoppers. Dupe culture is all about finding cheaper versions, called dupes, of expensive or luxury products. The word dupe comes from duplicate. Unlike fake products that copy a brand's logo or name, dupes only copy the style and function of the original item without breaking any laws. Many people want to save money but still want products that look and feel just as good as the expensive ones. Social media platforms, such as TikTok, Instagram, and Threads, have made it easier for dupe culture to take off. Influencers and users post videos or pictures showing cheaper versions of luxury products while attracting buyers with smaller budgets. One example is makeup. Someone who admires high-end makeup brands might learn that drugstore brands offer similar shades and quality for much less money.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
I'm Nikki.
And today we're going to be looking at a 2-day article all about dupe culture, a helpful or harmful trend. Well, actually, it's a question. A helpful or harmful trend? We don't know what it is. We're going to figure out if dupe culture is a helpful or harmful trend. But first, let's talk about dupe culture. What exactly is this, Nikki? You seem to have a better idea and more experience with this than me.
It's duplicate. It's
duplicate culture.
Yeah,
okay.
Duplicate. It's like you have a more expensive version, but if you can't afford it, you would go for the cheaper version.
Oh, I see. So it's not kind of making a fake version.
No.
It's just making something similar, but not from that company, from another company, and it will be cheaper.
Exactly.
But I might be taking away. So if I, for example, really liked a Sephora type of makeup, that might be a bit more expensive than ABC brand or something.
I think Sephora would already be the dupe.
Oh, is it? It's the dupe. Oh,
it's
okay.
the dupe version.
It's the dupe of Kylie Jenner brand or something like that. Oh, okay. Now I get it. So we're taking money away from some of the really richer companies or the companies with the more expensive products. But we, the people buying it, are getting something very similar, but for a much lower price. But it's not a fake, all right? I'm not trying to tell you it's the same as that, but it's very similar. Let's have a look at the article. This will give us a good idea here, and I'm going to go through this the same as you guys. Picture yourself walking into a store, okay, and spotting a product that looks and feels like a luxury brand item. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's a famous brand. Ooh, it looks and it feels like a luxury brand item. That's great, but I'm expecting it to be expensive because that's what luxury means. This is an adjective that we often see in stores and advertising and marketing, and luxury is a word that for most people would mean high-end, meaning expensive, fancy. It might come from Europe or something like that. The other thing about luxury is it's unnecessary, all right? Luxury goods are always the fancy version of things you can get much cheaper. So you can go out and buy a Honda or a Toyota car. It's perfectly good. It'll drive you around. It'll last a long time. But if you want a luxury car, ooh, now you're looking at Rolls-Royce or Bentley or Mercedes-Benz or something like that. It's still a car. It's just a much nicer, more expensive car. But if you're just looking for a way to drive to work every day, it's not really necessary. So luxury is something that's nice to have if you can afford it, but it's not something you absolutely need in your life because it's the most expensive version of a pretty common product. For example, this luxury hotel will send a fancy car to pick you up at the airport, And it might also cost you 10 to 15 to 40,000 NT to stay there for one night, but you'll still just be getting a bed and a bathroom and a hotel room.
那今天的课文要来介绍平替商品的崛起。想象一下自己走进一间店，然后发现一个长得跟奢侈品一样，摸起来也一样的东西。那 luxury 这边当形容词指的是奢华的或者是高档的 something expensive that is pleasant to have, but we don't really need it. 那像例如就是一些奢侈的车子啊 luxury cars, luxury bags, or luxury hotels. 那指的都是奢侈品或者是一些名贵品的意思。
All right, so we see something we like, it looks and it feels fancy, like a luxury item. However, the article says it comes with a much lower price tag. Ooh, so when you pick it up, you go, oh, wait a minute, this is much cheaper. And then you also learn that, oh, this isn't the luxury brand, the famous expensive one, but it's very similar and it's much cheaper. Here's the question, would you buy it? This idea is at the heart of dupe culture, a trend that is becoming very popular, especially among Gen Z shoppers. Okay, so would you feel that saving money on it is worth it to get something that might not be quite as good, but will be pretty close? Well, that's the big question. Of course, the price tag is the thing that you will notice is most different between these dupe items and the luxury items. A price tag is basically just where they mark the price of something on a product. When you pick up something at the store, if you want to know how much it is, it might be written on the box, but it might be written on a small sticker that is put on the box. That's the price tag. If you go to a clothing store and you want to know how much a shirt or a dress or a jacket costs or whatever, you look for that little thing that's attached to the clothes. You'll cut it off when you get home, but in the store, it'll be a little piece of paper and it might have the price on it. And there also might be a tag on your shirt that shows you how to wash it, how to take care of it. So it's a little bit of writing attached to something, then it gives you important information. For example, before you wash your expensive new dress, make sure to read the tag that tells you how to do it safely. You don't want to wash that dress one time and have it come out looking very small.
When we're talking about Gen Z shoppers, they're people who are born from 1996, I think, 7 to 2000.
Yeah. Basically,
something.
People are born around the year 2000. Yeah.
OK. 那但是呢，这样的商品比起奢侈品来说会便宜的很多。那这样的话，我们还会想要买吗？那这种平替文化越来越受欢迎，特别是在 Gen Z 世代。那 tag 这个名词指的是标签 ，a small piece of paper or plastic that is attached to something to show what it is or who owns it. 那我们常常看到的就是 price tag， 就是标签 ，remove the price tag 就是移除它。
All right, so dupe culture is all about finding cheaper versions called dupes of expensive or luxury products. The word dupe comes from duplicate, or basically a copy of something.
那这个平替文化的宗旨就是要找到更便宜的替代品。Be all about something 指的就是完全就是指的就是最基本或者是最重要的事物。Version 这个名词是版本 ，a copy that is slightly different from the original. 那 dupe 这个字来自于是 duplicate 这个字 ，come from 就是来自 ，duplicate 这个名词是复制品，或者是我们可以用 copy 这个字来代替。
Okay, unlike fake products that copy a brand's logo or name, dupes only copy the style and function of the original item without breaking any laws. Yeah, so this is legal to do these dupes. It's not a fake. A fake would be sort of like when you go somewhere and the guy's like, hey, I have a Chanel bag for you, but it's only 5,000 NT instead of, 50,000 NT. But it's supposed to look like the Chanel. They have the same label, they have the same design, the same colors, all of that stuff. It's basically a copy of something, but it's illegal to do that. So I'm not doing that. I'm doing something that changes it enough to not make it a fake, but it, of course, will still almost be the same. And for the people who use it, like with makeup, it will work and it will perform and it will be used in the same kind of way. But it's important to notice it's not a fake. Something that's a fake is not real. It's something that is not the way it's supposed to be, even though it's supposed to look like something else. You're making it look like something else in order to trick people, right? If I sell you something fake, I might try to sell it to you at the price of the real thing, much, much more expensive than it is. It's kind of like lying with a product when you're selling someone a fake. For example, the fake Swiss watch that Chad bought on vacation broke 2 weeks after he got it home. So it really wasn't worth the money. All right, so these dupes, though, they're not fakes, but they are supposed to copy or match the style and function of the real thing. A function is how something works or how something is used. If you ask someone, what's this for? You're asking them, what is the function of this? If you're playing a game and there's all sorts of different buttons you can press and you don't know what the buttons do, what's the function of this? If you're looking at a machine, like a coffee machine or a microwave or anything like that, they'll have buttons on the front, the power button, on, off, things like that. Those would be the function buttons. To make it work, to make it function or work, you press those buttons. For example, do you understand the function of this weird little knife? It's too dull to cut anything. Maybe it's a butter knife.
那大家可能会有一个疑虑，想说，那这样不就变成盗版的吗？但其实这样子的平替商品只有仿制产品的功能或者是设计，没有去偷别人的商标或者是品牌的名字。Fake 这个形容词指的是假的或者是伪造的。If something is fake, it's not real, it's not original, but it's made to seem real. So for example, in Halloween, we'll see fake blood, 假的血。那另外我们还可以用它来形容一个比较情绪上面的意思，比如说 fake smile, being fake and pretending you're having a fake smile. 那 logo 这个名词指的是标志或者是商标。For example, Starbucks or Nike or Apple, they all have their very distinct logos. 那 function 当名词指的是功能或者是作用 the purpose of something. So for example, we have phones, computers, and watches. They all have different functions. 那今天我们现在来看 language and focus. Without 这个介系词指的是否定或者是没有 not having something. 那如果我们后面加上一个名词，就会变成形容词片语来修饰前面的名词。For example, my grandparents' place is a place without internet. 那就是没有后面这个东西后面就是网路。那 without something 后面加上名词或者是 VING 作为片语副词片语的时候，会用来形容前面的动词。For example, he told the sad story without having any emotions. 所以后面的 having any emotions 用来形容前面的 told the sad story.
Okay, let's get back to our article. So it says many people want to save money, but still want products that look and feel just as good as the expensive ones. Okay. Yeah, we all want to save money, but we all want really, really good products, but we don't want to pay for them. This is that I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want the best of both worlds. Well, maybe that's not always possible, but maybe with dupe culture, you can get closer. Social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Threads have made it easier for dupe culture to take off. Someone discovers a new product that's a dupe that works well.And in a few hours or days, everybody in the world knows about it.
所以现在很多人都想要省钱，但是还是要享受高级品的感觉，所以各大社群媒体的使用也就促成了这样子平替商品的大受欢迎。Take off 指的是大受欢迎 suddenly become very or really successful.
Influencers and users post videos or pictures showing cheaper versions of luxury products,while attracting buyers with smaller budgets. So it's basically like advertising through social media. And this, of course, is all about people whose budgets might not be big enough to buy the luxury version. If you have a budget, you're talking about the money that you have to spend on something. That is your budget. It's how much money you have in your pocket, how much money you have in the bank, or how much money you allow yourself to spend on things because you don't want to spend too much.Okay, most of us can't, buy anything that we want. We're not millionaires or billionaires. We have to sort of stay within some rules of money that we have because of what you have to make, what you make at your job and what you have to spend to live and to pay for food and to get to school or work every day. That's your budget. So buying something really expensive would be out of your budget. You wouldn't have the money for it.You wouldn't have the budget for it. In other words, you can't buy it because you just don't have the money. For example, people with big budgets might be able to afford a fancy holiday, but I sure can't. So if you have a big budget, you can take a cruise around the world on a luxury ship. But if you have a smaller budget, you can take the high-speed train to Kending.
那怎么说呢？就是很多网红、网美或者是使用过商品的人，就会在这些平台上面发他们使用过后的心得，或者是影片、图片。 那就吸引了更多人会想要去买这些比较便宜的商品版本。Budget 这个名词指的是预算 ，how much you plan and how much you can spend。那我们常常会听到 within budget、under budget， 指的就是你用了比较少的钱，然后去达到你想要买的东西，就是在预算之内。那 over budget 指的就是在预算之外。那 if you have a tight budget， 那指的就是你的预算没有很多。
All right, one example is makeup. Someone who admires high-end makeup brands might learn that drugstore brands offer similar shades and quality for much less money. Okay, so yeah, we talked about makeup because, of course, also on Instagram, on social media, this is something that they have makeup tutorials and people do talk about it. So makeup is a good example. There is high-end makeup or kind of luxury makeup, but there's also good store brands or drugstore brands that offer similar shades and quality, and they are much cheaper or for much less money. When we talk about the quality of something, we're talking about how good or bad something is. So if your friend has bought something new and you're like, how is it? You're asking about the quality. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it work? Is it exactly what you wanted, or is it kind of disappointing? Does it have good parts? Does it have bad parts? What is it like? What's the quality? Low quality cooking oil might help you save money at the supermarket, but is it healthy to eat? Yes, often when we sacrifice quality in our food, we start to worry about our health too.
那其中一个比较常见的例子就是化妆品的平替，也就是说，像是如果有人很爱名牌，但是发现一般药妆店也有卖类似的颜色或者是质地的时候，就可能会想要买这个比较便宜的版本来省钱。Makeup 这个名词指的就是化妆品，那我们可以用 put on makeup 或者是 remove makeup 或者卸妆。那 high end 这个形容词指的就是高级的或者是高价位的。Shade 这个是名词指的是色调或者是色彩的浓淡，像我们在买一些化妆品会有一些不同的色号，那我们可以用 bright or dark 来形容这个 shade。那 quality 这个名词指的是品质，那另外还有一个字很常会搞混的是 quantity， 这个名词指的是数量 the number of something。那听完今天的节目还学得不够尽兴吗？欢迎来到空中家教和老师练习哦。
All right, we have a question here. Have you ever bought a dupe product? Please share your experience.
I have actually when I was younger, when I didn't have much money.
Okay, and what did you buy?
A lot of makeup.
A lot of makeup.
A lot of makeup. But I think it's good when you're starting to learn how to put on makeup.
Okay. And do you think it was as good quality as the stuff that would have been more expensive?
Of course not. But it's a good way to start practicing.
Yeah. Okay. I guess if you're a younger person, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And certainly if it's something new that you've never really tried before, finding a dupe might be good. Otherwise, you might spend a lot of money on something that you decide later on, nah, I don't really like that. All right, guys, be careful out there when you're buying things. If you're going to buy a dupe, make sure it's at least some good quality, even if it's not as expensive. But you don't want to buy something that turns out to be disappointing, or even worse with makeup, it could make your skin have problems or something. So don't sacrifice quality for everything, because you do want safety as well. Take care. Vocabulary Review.
Luxury. Luxury. Emma stayed in a luxury hotel with a big swimming pool and a beautiful ocean view. Tag. The alarm went off when Vicky left the store because the salesperson forgot to remove the tags from the clothes. Fake. The actor didn't get hurt when he jumped through the window. In movies, they use fake glass. Function. The main function of this machine is to keep the room at a comfortable temperature. Budget. Maggie wants to buy a new car, but her budget is quite small at only 90,000 new Taiwan dollars. Quality. The quality of this beef is great. I'm sure it will taste really good.
智慧小补帖
Version. Duplicate. Logo. Makeup. High-end. Shade.